I know I don't own the rights. I don't own no rights. I have no rights to play that, but I did just for a few seconds. Got to go back into the time machine, reach back for an old show one more time before we start getting into the new shows. I got a lot of concerts coming up soon, starting tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Shit. So welcome back for those of you who come back. And for those first timers out there, thank you for joining in. Hey. But yeah, we're on our 39th overall episode here. It's season 2, the 14th episode of season 2. Like I said, 39 overall, so thank you for all the people that have been here the whole time. It's very cool of you. Thanks for all the support. If I haven't got back to your comments, I will soon. Just got a lot of other stuff going on right now, which I'm kind of glad I haven't gotten in my concert schedule quite yet, just because there's been so much other stuff going on. But we're hanging out here with Magic Lamp today, once again. Yes, Magic Lamp. He's been talking a lot this morning. Anyway, this show took place on January 22nd of 2022, so a little bit over 2 years ago. But I picked this show out, not only because it's Tool and they're awesome. This will be the shirt I'm going to wear for the show they got coming up here in February 18th of this year, which is why I'm doing this review now, because I had an open week of not new shows, so I was like, you know what, let's talk about Tool now. And kind of go over this real quick, kind of set up for the review I'll be doing later on in February once Tool is here on February 18th. That'll definitely be the show. I'm going to do that Tuesday, which would be February the 20th. So not looking too far ahead though, but yeah, this show, like I said, 22nd of January in 2022. T-Mobile Arena, so one of the bigger indoor venues here in town. They say when it's like a center stage, or when it's like an end stage show, it holds it to about 18,000. So I'd say there was every bit of if there wasn't 18, there was real close to 18,000 people there. For Tool, they had no problem selling out T-Mobile. Usually happens quick, so a lot of times people got to get their tickets on the resale. But it's worth it. These guys are phenomenal live, phenomenal studio stuff too. But it translates so well live, and the background videos that they have, the artwork, and all the stuff, and just the light show with it. It's a phenomenal show, phenomenal. Tool was formed out of Los Angeles, California in 1990, so they've been around for a while. They put out. But their first album was out, 91 and 92, the first full LP. So, hey, these guys have been doing it for a while. Maynard James Keenan on vocals. He's been there the whole time. Adam Jones on guitar, Danny Carey on the drums. All three of them have been on as far as they've been there the whole time. Justin Chancellor joined up in 1995 with them. He replaced Paul DeMore. On bass, and Justin Chancellor is a phenomenal bass player. This is a phenomenal group of musicians right here. And if you have not seen this band live, rates will probably be pretty cheap. It's going to be the weekend after Super Bowl is out here. So Super Bowl weekend's going to be jacked up price-wise, right? Makes sense. The weekend after, I don't think anything major. I mean, there's always something going on in Vegas, but I don't think it's going to affect a lot of the rates on the strip kind of deal. So you should be able to get a pretty good price. They're going to be at T-Mobile Arena. Again, they always do T-Mobile about once every 2 years. It's phenomenal, worth every penny. And like I said, I cannot wait to go see them here in a couple of weeks. I am so amped. I think it was 3 weeks ago from yesterday. I think, because it's going to be a Sunday night show. So do yourselves a favor. If you haven't seen this band live, get your asses out here. It's probably going to be fairly cheap, like I said, rates, compared to like the week before, which is Super Bowl weekend here in Vegas. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get on this, man. First song they come out and do is called Fear Inoculum, which is this is the second leg of the Fear Inoculum tour. So of course they're going to come out and play some tunes from the Fear Inoculum album that they released in 2019. And because of COVID, stuff got pushed back. So yes, they are still doing the tour for the Fear Inoculum. And, Fear Inoculum is a good 10-minute long song, start to show. It's pretty much the song I came in on that I had no rights to. And, it's a good tune. There's so many tunes I could have played by Tool. I mean, they have so many badass tunes. This last album they just put out is so good. First time I listened to it, it was like, okay, it's a little different than normal Tool. And then, once you listen to it some more, you're like, nah, it's Tool. It fucking jams, man. It's awesome. Pretty much a lot of Tool, even back in the early days. Long, slow intro, really good, hard, cool, fucking medium, middle and climax of the song, and then a nice soft landing. That's really how you can describe a lot of Tool songs. It's kind of like a nice little slow takeoff, and then it gets going really good, and then you got the nice landing. And there are, I believe, 6 songs on this album that are masterpiece songs. Like they're long, but even being as long as they are, they're so interesting. You never lose interest because just something else is going to come into it. It's just very good work. It took them a long time to finish the album. It's like 9 songs altogether. There's a cute couple of instrumental kind of tunes and stuff. Tool always throws in these little tunes here and there that they're not going to have any singing. And it may just be like one dude on one album, they had a song called Intermission. It was just a friend of theirs that played a little keyboard tune that they liked for about a minute and a half. And they were like, we're going to put it on the album. He was like, all right, cool. Shit like that. So, but they're serious songs, very powerful. The second tune they had was Sober, which was like the first big tune that they had on MTV as far as the video. Pretty much put it once they put out the song Sober and you seen it on Headbangers Ball, people were like, whoa, who are these guys? So then the next song they come out with is called The Pot. And yes, it is about pot, about the weed. And then the next song is called Push It. That's a good 10-minute long song. And then the next song they got about 12 minutes running was called Numa, which is off the Fear Inoculum album as well. And then they do a song about 8.5 minutes long called The Grudge. And then they do a song that's called Right In 2, which is just phenomenal, 9 minutes. One of the reasons why I mentioned some of the times on these also, because Tool shows they may not give you 20 songs, but they're going to give you 10 to 12 songs, and many of those songs are going to be double in length of what an average song would be from a regular band. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm kind of pointing out some of the times as well. Another song they do, Descending, which is about 13.5 minutes. And like I said, their long tunes are so badass between the instrumental parts when they're just jamming and doing different stuff, and how it just kind of like Maynard has been quoted to say, we don't write songs, we write experiences. And when you really think about that, you're like, damn, that's pretty cool. And it makes a lot of sense, because it's not just the vocals, it's also just when they're just playing just the music part, taking you through that journey and the ebbs and flows of the song that Tool has. It's just phenomenal. As complex as, say, this shirt is. I mean, you just look at this shirt and you're like, this ain't just a normal rock and roll shirt. This is kind of like Tool's music is, when you think about the lyrics and you break some of it down, it's pretty complex. And that's why you don't see a whole lot of bands just covering Tool songs. That, and to try to cover Danny Carey, sometimes I bet you for drummers, is hard. Because Danny Carey, he's definitely on my Mount Rushmore drummers. And honestly, my personal favorite. But I'm not going to say he's the greatest, because another buddy of mine said, well, I don't want to say the greatest, but I want to say up there is one of the best, because there are so many drummers. And that's why I got my top 4. So still trying to get a painting done of those top 4 anyway. But anyway, And then we're going to wrap up the regular set with Hooker with a Penis is what that song's called. It's a little bit shorter Tool song, only about 4.5 minutes. They don't have many songs under 5 minutes. But that one is. Yes, it was called Hooker with a Penis. I'm not making that up. I wish I was. And then you think about how he said he writes about experiences. Anyway. Next thing they do is pretty much they leave the stage and they literally have a 12-minute countdown on their screens. It's like, hey, better go get another drink if you need it. Better go take a piss if you need to take a piss. Whatever you gotta go do it. Because you got 12 minutes, bitch, before we come back on stage. And in Tool, when they say 12 minutes, they're not talking 12 minutes and 5 seconds. 12 minutes. And they're going to start right back into a song called Chocolate Chip Trip. About a 5-minute tune of pretty much Danny Carey just fucking around with various percussion instruments and drums. And it's pretty much 5 minutes of that. Pretty cool. Pretty much right now the crowd is not standing up and jamming right now. Everybody's kind of chilling from the 12-minute intermission because once the stage came on for Tool, everybody stood up. And, they didn't sit down to the end of the set. But then once the intermission hit, if you weren't going to get a drink or using a restroom, you were sitting down chilling, like yours truly here. And then they come out with this next song. Keep in mind, I had taken some things earlier on in the show. And right about now was when I was at ultimate concert mode, if you smell what the doc here is cooking. And, it's a really long intro song. And it's called Culling Voices. It's about a 10-minute long song. And as we're all sitting, because like I said, we're not up jamming yet. Everybody's sitting down still. We're still sitting down. You look up. I was in the lower bowl, so I had pretty good seats. But I was at the last row of that bowl. So it was easy for me if I needed to go get a drink or use the restroom. I could just hop right over that little gate that was right behind me, my chair. Just whoop, and bam, I was right there. I didn't have to make people stand up in the row or try to go by them sideways and shit. It was nice. I could just turn around and leap right over because I still had the physical ability to do that. Thank you to the man upstairs who gave me that ability to still have that ability. So thank you. Anyway, long intro of the song. Stuff's coming down, right? And see, it's rectangle, gold and silver, like metallic paperish slivers, like they kind of gleam in the light, as they're coming down. And which we're at the arena where the Golden Knights play. So you got those colors, the Golden Knights colors coming down in those slivers, right? But also mixed in with these slivers are rectangle, like paperish kind of cutouts of what says Tool and has a little picture of the Fear Inoculum, one of the Fear Inoculum pieces of the album on that little picture. All right, all this is raining down. And keep in mind, I'm in ultimate concert mode here. And I'm in a short row of 5 people. There's a couple here, a couple here. And I just stood up. And as I'm just grabbing these things out of the sky, and I'm putting them in my pockets, I'm like, I'm ultimate concert mode here. And and I was gonna save those pieces of all the stuff that I was collecting, put them in a bag, label it. I got a Vegas box. I saved a lot of memorabilia and stuff that I collect throughout the years since I started when I first came out from my first vacation back in 2008. I was like, I'm going to put all this stuff in the Vegas box. But at that moment in time, in my head, it was just me and Tool. Like the other 18,000 people, they weren't even there in my head. You know what I mean? Like it was just me and the 4 dudes on the stage, man. And I'm telling you what, one of my favorite concert moments of all time was right there. And it was fucking unbelievable. And every time I hear this song, I could almost relive that shit just over and over and over. And it was awesome. And February 18th of this year, I get to go see Tool again. And this time, though, my son's going to be with me because he wanted to. He's over the years, he's kind of learned about Tool, and he's heard from Tool through other bands that will do like interviews or documentaries, and they'll talk about how great Tool is, and they'll make different comments. And he's like, listen to these bands, and they're and he's like, listen, say these bands, and they're talking great things about Tool. So he's like, maybe I should check these guys out. And now he's finally starting to check them out, even though I've been telling him for years to be checking them out. Doesn't always listen to Dad, And so, he was like, Dad, next time Tool comes, I think I want to go see him. So that was one of his Christmas presents when Tool came. Tool put their tickets on sale. So February 18th, 2024, T-Mobile Arena. Get your asses out here and see this band. You will not regret it. There was a guy and a girl next to me. They weren't they didn't know much about Tool. He got his tickets in a business deal. And about halfway through the show, he started tapping me on the shoulder every once in a while and be like, these guys are fucking phenomenal. I'm like, yep, I know, dude. They come, like I said, about once every 2 years to Vegas. And I'm not bullshitting you here, guys. I don't say this about every band. If they came every 6 months, my ass would go every 6 months. That's how good of a show it is. And I'm dead serious. If you don't know much about them, you got plenty of time to learn. Book your fucking flight. Book your fucking concert ticket. Come jam with me. You come jam with me, and I'm going to have herb. They got an outdoor smoking area during the opening act and before the show. We're going to be out on the ledge in the outdoor smoking area burning. It's going to be February. It's going to be nice out. It's at like 70 degrees right now. It's a little bit after 11 o'clock here in Vegas right now. It's still late January. 70 degrees, folks. I'll be in shorts today. So, get your asses out here. See this phenomenon band. It's phenomenal. Can't stress it enough. All right. So after that moment, kind of calmed down. But now I'm up. I'm just standing up. I'm going to start jamming because now the song's starting to pick up its pace too. By the time I'm kind of like, whoa, there are people here. And so they finish up with Calling Voices. The last song they're going to play is called Invincible. 13-minute long tune. It's badass. I mean, it is awesome. Talking about warriors struggling to remain consequential. It's just, you gotta, it's a badass tune. Danny, just badass. Awesome. God, I hope, man. And like I said, there's other songs that they play, because this was the second time I seen Tool, second leg of the tour. I seen the first leg of the tour right before we had to shut down here in Vegas. I haven't done a review on that. I almost thought about doing a review on that too, but I just went with the second show because it was a little more special for me. Anyway, so there were songs I had a wish list for this show, but after I thought about it, I was like, well, they played it on the first leg of the tour. And, besides the Fear Inoculum songs from the new album, they're going to switch up some of the other songs just because they're not a cookie cutter type of band. Now, they still did some of the Fear Inoculum stuff just because it is the Fear Inoculum tour. So you got to let that slide. But like I said, whatever set list they come out with on February 18th, I'm super stoked. I cannot wait. Plus, like I said, I get to see this one with my son. I'd like to see some of y'all that listen to the show come on out, man. Like I said, all you gotta do is drop me a line, and we'll try to get together, and we can hang out before the show and shit. I don't know if we'll be sitting next to each other. It's a big arena. It's a good size arena. But either way, we can still hang out together before the show. And then after they finished up with Invincible, though, the song Dancing Queen by fucking ABBA starts piping through the ceiling. And I just don't know I don't know if that's Maynard just being funny or if that was a venue thing. I don't know. I'm willing to put my money on it because Maynard has like a kind of like a crazy sense of humor. The lead singer from Tool, actually all Tool, they kind of have a little different kind of sense of humor. And I can see them putting on Dancing Queen as they leave to the Anyway, shout out to ABBA. And so, yeah, real quick shout out. I didn't even mention anything about the opening band. I'll be honest. I really wasn't paying attention to the opening band. I really didn't. But we'll give a shout out to them real quick. They were called Blonde Redhead. They were two brothers and then a lady, 3-person band. I watched them a little bit, but I didn't get there till they were already like on the stage getting going, and there was still a particular event that I was kind of focused on my phone that was wrapping up. So it was like, then once that finished up, it was like, all right, I went and sat down. I've seen a few tunes of this band, but I didn't get crazy about it. So I didn't want to like, try to act like I sat there and witnessed it when I really didn't. I witnessed part of them. That's all I could really tell you about it. They were all right. They didn't suck, but they were all right. Tool really don't need an opening band, honestly. I mean, if you want to have an opening band, fine. The first time, at least they had a band this time. The first time I seen Tool, they had one dude that came out and played a bunch of electronic devices for about 25 minutes, and it was boring as hell. And I was literally nodding off like some heroin addict, trying to stay awake just because I was just bored, and I got to be up. I got to be up jamming, man. I'm a busy guy, so if you get me relaxed sitting there after a while, night, keep your butthole tight, man. I got to be up. I got to be jamming. All right. But yeah, like I said, get your asses out here for the show, man. It's going to be a killer show. I'm not lying to you. I have other concerts before this show coming up, of course, but I am super stoked about this Tool show. Like I said, I'm wearing a new Tool shirt that I'm going to be wearing for the show just because I am. Next time when I do the review of this show, I'll probably have a different shirt. I had like a really cool South Park Tool shirt, which are Tool guys, but they're South Park cartoons, but it's Tool. And that's a pretty cool shirt too. I always wear that to the concerts usually, and people when they realize what it is, are like, "That is awesome, dude." And then of course they're asking me where I got it, and I'm like, "I don't fucking remember." God damn it! I got to get out of here though, guys. I got to do a lot of shit today. My day off, and today and tomorrow. Party down, rock and roll, keep it rocking. We still got a lot more rocking to do, bitch, which I fucking forgot to theme song your asses. We still got more rocking to do, bitch. That's all I got for you. I'm spent. Alrighty, guys, party down. I'll talk to you later on. Be cool. Rub of the magic lamp. Have a magic lamp, baby. Keep on rocking. We still got a lot more rocking to do, bitch. We ain't dead yet. And we ain't going to be done rocking until we are dead and gone. I think we'll still be rocking when we are dead. So that's how I'm going to do it. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And, night. Keep that ball tight.